Before we end, if you take a step back to when everything kind of started with the band, and you kind of look through, and maybe if you're giving advice to somebody whose child is showing the ability that your children are, and they're thinking, hey, I could do this. What would be a piece of advice, maybe something that you say, hey, don't do this, or really focus on this, that you would give that person?
I'm laughing because I'm like, my first instinct was find 5 other parents and create a team. Like, I don't know how, like, I look at people like Louie and the Family Around the Morning, Florin, and, you know, like looking at some of those, I'm like, how are they doing? How is one family doing this? Because it's so much work. Like, I just don't know that people could ever fathom the amount of work. Like, and we all have full-time jobs. Like, we are all full-time employed, and then doing this as a, like, I fundamentally feel like I have 2 full-time jobs now. So, and I'm only doing part of it. Like, you know, so my first instinct is, you know, build a team, would be my advice, because it really, I don't think one person can necessarily do this. You do need a team around you. But I think just the other sort of real piece of advice would just be, if it's their passion, then support the passion. You know, if you can make it easy for them, especially for, you know, the band the age ours are, it's this fine balance between wanting to teach them the business, but also just keep them free to be creative and decide, do you want to do this forever?
Yeah.
Do you love it enough that this is your forever dream? And I feel like that's something, I'll say with pride on behalf of the 6 parents, as we've all tried really hard to make sure that there wasn't pressure on them to go down this path, but purely the opportunity to decide if they loved it enough to keep going. And they have, you know, that's their dream, is to do this, to tour, to see the world, to play music, to connect with fans, and just keep going. So, but it has to be their dream, right? Like, that's the biggest piece.